So a quick, pretty damn good Arc 3.0 build for the Warlock. If you're new to this and you haven't really thought about this, I hope you try this and I hope it helps. I'm going to be using Storm, Trance and Crown of Tempest, but I do want to say beforehand, these kind of stats here are just totally up to you. I would go Discipline and Strength. Unfortunately, when I quit and deleted my character, I deleted all my armors as well, so I have nothing masterwork, I have no good rolls, nothing like that. So I'm just going with what I have. With higher ability stats, I feel like this would be even better than it already is for myself. And let's just have a look at the stuff. So we got Storm Trance. Yep, Storm Trance pretty good. With the Crown of Tempest, it means it gets extended and you regenerate your abilities and stuff like that. So Storm Trance is always going to be your like last port of call after maybe you've missed like a rotation on your ability regeneration. You could just blast out this Crown of Tempest, wipe out absolutely everything because it lasts incredibly long. So let's have a look at the aspects and fragments that I have. I have Arc Soul, obviously. Arc Soul is another big point of your damage and AOE attacks, and when you're amplified, it increases the rate of fire on it, so you're going to constantly pop in your well to try and regenerate your melee, so you're always going to have an Arc Soul up every time you do that. Then we have Lightning Surge. This is the melee that I'm trying to make infinite, but it's a little bit hard to build around because some of the charged melee mods don't equate to this actual move itself. When you do hit people with this though, it's going to do a lot of damage to multiple enemies if you get right in the middle of them. It will chain lightning to nearby targets because they may end up jolted. So if you manage not to kill absolutely everyone, the last guy will be jolted. You can then, you know, have your arc damage spread around and kill more things. I'm using the pulse grenade because there's a couple of mods that work with grenades and I feel like the pulse grenade is best for that, but you can feel free to pick whatever you want to do. Now for the fragments, I feel like the fragments aren't that great right now, or at least they're not very great to be built into the builds that I want to make. But I'm going with Ionic Trace. Well, Arc Weapon Final Blows have a chance to create an Ionic Trace. You lose 10 strength, which is why you really need good armor. But this regenerates your ability every time you get one. And you're going to be dropping down your well and using something like Risk Grenade or the new sidearm to get loads of kills, creating Ionic Traces, getting your abilities back. Spark of Focus. After sprinting for a short time, your class ability regeneration is increased. Class ability seems to be the most difficult thing to regenerate in this current build that I'm trying to make. And you're going to be running around anyway to try and keep doing your powered surge forward melees. So this is a quick way to get your class ability back. Then we have your Arc Grenades Jolt Targets. Now this is why I'm using Pulse Grenades. You drop a grenade at the feet of somebody and the first one, it probably won't kill harder enemies, but it will create Jolt. And then the second splash of the pulse, because obviously it splashes multiple times, the second splash will create, you know, the arc change due to jolt off the first splash. And then we have Spark of Recharge. While critically wounded, your melee and grenade energy regenerates more quickly. As I said, you're going to be getting in close with your Arc Soul, with your sidearm, with your Risk Runner, with your surged melees. So you're going to be getting wounded quite a lot and you'll get your stuff regenerated. Obviously, have a look, see if you find anything else that you like. Spark of Momentum could work as well without you actually losing one of the stats, -10. So those are the fragments I'm going with. Now let's look at the mods. So for the helmet, I've got Bottomless Bounty. This increases the effect of right hook, and with the sidearm that I'm using, it obviously has right hook. Dealing melee damage gives this weapon increased target acquisition and range for a short period of time. Dealing melee damage again extends the effect. I am pretty sure this works with the surge forward charged melee. If not, or it's not consistent anyway, they definitely need to kind of figure out a way to have this surge forward melee count towards most of these mods. But that's why I'm using it. It's only one mod slot and I don't have anything else to put there anyway, so eventually this will come in useful. Then we have Arc Siphon. Rapid Arc Weapon Final Blows create an Orb of Power. Orb of Power is going to be used to regenerate stuff too. So, you know, you're using your sidearm, you're using Risk Grenade, you're going to get Orbs of Power. Well of Striking. Picking up Arc Elemental Wells grants you additional melee energy. You want that melee back so you can keep doing your melee stuff, and that works really well. For the gauntlets, obviously I'm building all into strength as well because my armor sucks, but you can have whatever mods you want here. We have Momentum Transfer. Causing damage with a grenade reduces your melee cooldown. So again, that grenade that you're throwing in to cause jolt, to kill, all that kind of stuff, you're also getting your melee cooldown back. Then we have defeating a combat with a grenade spawns an elemental well that matches your subclass type energy. So you're going to be throwing that grenade in, causing jolt, trying to kill as many people as possible while causing damage and getting your melee ability back. You will also be getting wells, which is also going to add towards getting your ability back. Then we have the chest piece. Now, I didn't really know what to put here, so I just put kind of defense stuff. And then we have combatant weapon final blows with a damage type that matches your subclass element has an escalating chance to spawn an elemental well. So when you're in and you've dropped your arc soul and you've got your risk runner or sidearm, you're going to be killing loads and loads and loads of enemies. Hopefully your arc soul isn't killing everything by mistake, but you'll be creating wells this way too. And wells will give you your energy back. Defeating a combatant with a super spawns your elemental well that matches your subclass energy type. So this is just one I threw in there because last ditch effort, if you kind of mess up your cycle of ability regeneration and you've got a super ready, your super is going to absolutely annihilate every single enemy, but it will also create wells so that, you know, if you haven't killed everyone, there's going to be a lot of wells there ready to be used to get your energy back. Plus you get it back anyway with your super. Then we have reduced melee cooldown each time you pick up an orb of power. Those orbs of power that we're going to be getting, obviously then you can get your melee cooldown, and also Absolution, where you get all your ability cooldowns every time you pick up an orb of power. I don't know whether these two go against each other. I've always equipped them on the same piece of armor anyway. Let me know down below in the comments. It's been a while since I've played. Outreach reduces melee cooldown when using your class ability. I don't know whether these stack. I hope they do. There's nothing else to equip anyway. And I put on Seeking Wells because I find sometimes it's hard to see the wells that I'm creating, especially if you're in like a place like Europa where there's snow. So I just put this on just to make sure that I don't miss any wells whatsoever. There are probably a couple of other things you could put on instead. I did try to go for like a Become Charged with Light build, and I wanted to equip this heavy-handed. While charged with light, regain half your melee energy when you're using a charged melee ability. I was hoping this would work with the surged melee, but it does not. That sucks. I really do wish, you know, for 7 energy cost, this should work with the surge forward melee, but it doesn't. So I just kind of repealed all of my charge of light builds and kind of just went with just elemental wells. And that is kind of the build that I'm using. Obviously, any arc weapon you want to use, I'm using the Brigand's Law because it's got right hook. Risk Runner's pretty great there too. You could even go with the Delicate Tomb if that's your thing. Trespasser, if that's your thing too. So yeah, that's kind of my build. Now, let's have a little chat about why I'm making this video. So obviously I quit Destiny, I deleted everything. And I meant that, and I still mean that. I'm not going to be playing this game more than 1 day a week on the Tuesday reset just to do the story, and I'm not going to be playing it more than 3 hours a week because I am out of the Destiny matrix. The reason why I'm doing it is because Lightfall has piqued my interest to the point where I might want to try the new city area and the new subclass strand and the grappling hook. I'm sure that after a week or two I probably won't play Lightfall, but I want to have a character ready for Lightfall, which is obviously what I need to do right now because I deleted all my characters. So yeah, that's kind of why I made this video, because I had a lot of fun figuring out this arc class. And when I deleted and quit Destiny, it was when Solar 3.0 came out because I just thought it was trash. You can have a lot of good builds for survivability and that's great, but it didn't have for me like an instant gratification. You use an ability and then you see the rewards from that ability. Solar 3.0 didn't have that for me, and it didn't look flashy, it didn't look over the top, it didn't look cool. It was a lot of burns and stuff like that. It didn't look or feel amazing to play, and that's why I quit, because I was like, this is just dog shit. Void 3.0 was the complete opposite. It was instant gratification. It was everything exploding on screen, lots of colors, lots of blow up type things, you know, getting your energy back pretty much instantly and being able to keep doing that over and over again. It felt fun to use. It felt interesting to use, and that's why I loved Void 3.0. But when I quit, I was like, yeah, I'm done with the game. But Arc 3.0, I think I deserved to test it myself because I'd put so much time into Void 3.0, was disappointed by Solar 3.0. I just felt Arc 3.0 needs to be looked at for me on a personal level. And I made this very quick, basic, pretty cool build with a lot of ability regeneration. Definitely can be improved with better armors and, you know, just having things masterworked, because I have no stats whatsoever. So that's why I decided to do it. Let me know what you think about this build. How would you improve it? What would you change? If you have any cool arc builds, let me know. I may, because I can get the boost, I may start a new Hunter and Titan as well. And test out their art classes, you know, just out of interest of what's changed with those classes. Let me know down below what you think. Thank you for watching. I believe you guys have been awesome.